Hi there, welcome to my hobby bench. My name is Ken, and this is Terminator Tuesday. All right, here we are with issue 25, and here are the parts that we get in this issue. So we get a right shoulder spring, we get a right elbow pin, we have our shoulder accessories sprue, we have a right shoulder accessories sprue as well. And then we have two sets of screws. We have 3x8mm and 3x6mm. And also in this this part, we're going to need to bring back several of our parts from our previous issues. So let's get started. All right, so in this issue, we're going to start off with this sprues. We'll start with this sprue here, and we're going to need also some CA glue in this build for this issue, and a set of sprue cutters for sure. Now, if I need, I can also come in with my Molotov chrome refill here, and I can do a little bit of cleanup on any parts that have been cut off the sprue tree or the parts trees or sprues, and we'll see if we need that. So let's start cutting off our parts and we'll get started. Alright, so we're going to come in here and we're going to start cutting off these two parts here, and they're going to go together. So let's do that here. So again, I've got a single bladed nippers or sprue cutters here. These are with Display. I know a few other companies make them, so that's something you can look for. It helps get you in a little bit closer without causing any extra damage or anything. So that's the first piece. You can see there's a little bit of a white spot here. If need be, I'll come in with my Molotov chrome and we'll touch it up. So we need this second piece here. There we go. So we're going to flip this over and we're going to check our fitting. So this groove here, or this raised line here, needs to go into this groove down in here. So let's check that out. Let's go like that. Let's take some of our CA glue. I hope this holds well. It should, because I won't be really playing with this or anything. But something to keep in mind is that glues don't really do so well with this chrome sort of finish. Alright, so there's that. All glued together. You know, I will take a sanding stick. Just going to knock that down just a little bit more. Check this side, I'll do the same. Just like that. The other one up here is hidden, so that's good. And you know, these ones may be hidden in the end. But so I won't chrome them right now. I'll keep building for now and come back later with chrome, chrome anything that needs it. So that's our first part. Now I am using Todd's instructions from myt800.com, so feel free to check out his website if you're building this kit, or if you're building pretty much a great many other Parts Works, as he does have Part Works build, I should say, instructions for many different Parts Works. So thanks, Todd, very much. So we're just cutting off the remaining pieces off this sprue here. I'll go around and I'll check and remove any excess, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are with our parts all removed. I kind of cleaned them up a bit. I still haven't added any chrome to them yet, because what's going to happen next is we're going to take our shoulder piece here from earlier issues. And what we're going to do here is we're going to start inserting these pieces into here. So some of these areas around their bases, we're not even going to see these connection points. So I don't think it's going to be anything that we're going to be concerned with. So let's try and orientate this correctly. Looks like it would be this way, so that we have these two to this side and this one straight over to the left side. So we'll take that. First part is this one here we created. The first one we had to glue it together. And I'm just looking at Todd's instructions just to make sure I get this correct. And it looks like it's going to go in like this. So it should slide just right down into this. Now I should be able to find out if this is correct. By its fitment. So it does fit in there. You can kind of see some of these are different shaped. Now this is going to have a panel screwed on here, so there's no real talk of using CA glue or anything like that. And we can just move on with adding our next couple of parts. So we take, next is this part here. It's going to go into this groove area right in here. So again, just like that. And again, no need to touch up chrome. Then we'll go to this part next. Again, no need to do the chrome. And that's how that one should go. Just out of curiosity. Yeah, it doesn't want to go this way. So it will only go this way. You can see they appear to be different lengths. So you shouldn't be able to put it in backwards, because you can see this shoulder part in here, its fitment is short and this side is long. So you shouldn't make any mistakes with that. And then finally we're going to take our our next part and put that in place there. Again, the orientation is this, and you can see long, short, so you can't get it in there, backwards at all. Then finally we have our last one here. Yeah, I don't know if this one, yeah, I don't think this one has any orientation. So that's it for those parts. And Todd does recommend a little CA glue on this one. So let's take some CA glue. There we have it. So those parts installed. Next, we're going to take our spring that we received, and that's going to go in here, just like that. Now, Todd does recommend too to make sure that these screws are, tightened up properly. You didn't leave them loose. I'm quite certain that I didn't, but I will double check. Okay, so there we go. They are tight. There we have it, just like that. Next, the instructions have us take this plate here, and you can see on this plate there is one little raised area on the back here that has this little groove here, and that's going to go over top of this last piece we put in. So, just like that. Before I do that, let's open our screws up and get them ready to go. Alright, so we have our screws ready, and we can put this into place like that. We're going to be using the 6mm screws on this part here, and it is metal into metal, so I'm going to use some of my 3-in-1 oil, and then just screw them in. Now I am using my PH00 screwdriver. There is a little bit of a flashing here. There we go. Just got that out of the way. So maybe keep an eye out for that on your build, if there was any flashing there. We'll just double check that these are all nice and tight. There we go. So there's our shoulder part there. And with that spring in there, we can push in and rotate this to the various orientations. Next, we're going to come along here with our next sprue, and then we're going to remove this part here, just like that. I'll go up and clean up a little bit here. Alright, so this part is going to come in to this little recessed area here. You can kind of see we have 2 pins here. So let's test our fit. Good. And it does hide that little sprue cutoff point here a little bit, but not enough. So for me, for my taste, I think I'm going to come in here with a little bit of my Molotow here and just touch that up a bit. You can probably get away with not doing this, as it's not, I don't think it's a part that's going to stand out a super high amount. There we go, almost a perfect match. Now, Todd's recommending here that we use our CA glue. I'm sure that's what's in the kit instructions as well. We're going to put a little CA glue on the pegs here, and then put this in place. So again, lining up our pegs, just like that. Our chromed up, touched up part, looking good. And there we have it. Alright, next we're going to be coming in with this part here from earlier. We have our 2 screw holes and a pin. So you can see here we have 2 screw holes and a pin. So that's where that's going to be going, just like this. There we have it. And then we're going to use our 2 8mm screws in there, but it is metal and metal contact, and so because it is going into metal, I will be using the 3-in-1 oil. Just going to get that started, and we'll come in and we'll get the other one started now too. Get them nicely snugged up. There we go. Now we have this for our parts here. Alright, next we're going to take our last part on our sprue here. It almost looks like it's part of the frame, but it's not. So come in and snip this off. Just like that. Now this frame is done. I'll clean this up a little bit. Now I'm going to preemptively come in and put a little bit of our chrome on there. Just like that. I might as well do this one. Probably won't need it, but you never know. Alright, so now we'll take this piece here, and it's going to go into this hole right here. Just like that. But we will need to CA glue it. Now you can see there is a notch on there, right there, and that is going to line up with a little peg that's in there, if you can make that out. So it can only go in there the one way, and then once it's in there it can't spin. So let's get a little CA glue on this. Alright, that's what we end up with for issue 25. So we've consolidated some of our parts from previous issues, and we still have this pin here for future use. So we'll move on now to issue 26. Alright, so here we are with issue 26. So these are the parts that come with it. We have this left shoulder. We have left shoulder elbow. We have a couple of these, I guess they're like a washer type system, or the, yeah, like that. We have actually several washers themselves. We have a small bushing, and we have a 10mm screw and a, yeah, actually two 10mm screws. One's 10 by 2 and one's 10 by 3. And we also got an Allen key in this step. Additionally, we're going to be working with our hand assembly and our shoulder assembly and our arm assembly. So this is where it's all going to start going together. I also have this pin part here. Alright, so the first thing the instructions have us do is remove this plate here that we had previously put on in place. But don't let the screws get away too far, because we're not going to be going without this for very long. So there we have it. Take that plate off like that. The next thing we're going to do is take a couple of these two matching notched pieces here, and we're going to be putting them into place. You've seen these being put into place other places on this model. That's really good wording. These places and places. Anyway, just like that. So let's push that out like that, and we'll actually get some glue on this. There's the first one. The second one goes right in here, just like that. All right, next we're going to take our upper arm assembly here, and with this cover still off, we're going to take our piston here and then insert it into this hole here. You can see it has the two pins. Yep, there and there. So we will come in and put that into place just like that. Next, we're going to take two of our washers, and we're going to put them on the other side of this pin, like that, and that. Now we can take our cover, and we can put it back into place. Now making sure we catch this pin here. And I have, so that's good. So take the two screws I had set aside. And reinsert them into place. Now, according to Todd, the instructions also had us insert the bushing that we received in here right now, but he says not to do so at this time, as it's not really fit in there that well, and it'll keep popping out. So we'll be doing that after we've done these parts. All right, next we can bring this assembly all back over here. Now this is where we're going to actually insert the bushing. You can see our piston here. So we'll insert our bushing. Like that. It does not want to stay. But there we have it. Actually, let's make sure I have the screw side up. And I want to make sure I have this laid out like Todd did. So he kind of has it like this now. And then we have our larger opening here for the screw head side and the smaller side over here. So we'll take our bushing and put that in place. Now we're going to take a 2 by 10 millimeter screw. We'll put that into place. There we go. Snug that down really well. And we have our pistons attached. I'm going to see if I can snug this screw in just a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's it there. All right, so that's what we're at right now, just like that. All right, next I've flipped this over again and reorientated it. And what we're going to be doing is putting the bolt in this part here. So I lined up my holes. So we have our 10 millimeter by 3 millimeter screw, and we have a washer that goes on it. Now this is actually where our hex driver comes in place. So we'll have that. But we'll have to take our pin here with the long shank on it and insert it coming through like that. We can flip this over now. Hope that's in place. Line it up. So I'm just noticing now there are two raised parts here and here. And I'm not on camera. All right, so I've got these lined up. I noticed there is a raised little area here and here. And so we're going to have to make sure that those match there and there. So we'll drop this through just like that. And make sure that it is lined up as it needs to be. And we should be able to come in here with our screw here, drop it on in, and use our Allen key to tighten it down. Alright, so I ended up using my hex driver 2 millimeter to get this in there right, and yeah, so there we have it. In there good. And you can see we can adjust our hand here, and our pistons move with that. Just like that. So there we have it. Alright, finally we're going to take this ring here with the two pins on it. We'll flip our arm over to where our bolt is. So what we can do here is put a little CA glue on each of the pins. Just like that. And there we go. That goes in there just like that. All right, so this is the end of issue 26. This is what we have. We have our arm now in one piece, and we still have a shoulder joint over here. So let's move on to issue 27. All right, this is issue 27. Here are the parts that they give us. They give us a left shoulder plate. We have a couple of the inserts again, and we have a sprue with two parts on it. So let's get putting those together. All right, for our first step, we're going to bring this part back here for our shoulder from the previous issue. So for there, we're going to put our insert parts in. And again, we're going to need our CA glue for that. There's the first one. And there's our second one. Just like that. All right, now we're going to come in here with our parts off our sprue here, and we'll trim these off. Just like that and that. And we have this part here as well. All right, so here we have our tiny little parts here. We cut off the sprue. Now, Todd recommends that we apply the glue, CA glue, to these two little tabs here on the inside, and they'll match up with these little slots here on this piece here. So that's what we're going to do. And there we have our piece together. Just like that. All right, finally what we're going to do here is we're going to come back to the shoulder mechanism here we put together in the previous issues. And what we need to do here is take this part right here and we're going to attach this metallic part that we just created, or this plastic metallic part that we just created, to it. So it's going to go with these two little leg parts here and here. They're going to be on this side. You can kind of see the slot there. Let's test our fit. Perfect. So we'll take some CA glue and we will glue it into place. Just like that. There we go. So what I'll do now is I'll get a little bit more of my Molotow chrome and I'll touch up those parts on the side. All right, so as quick as that was, that's all that we were required to do for issue 27. So let's move on to the final issue this episode, issue 28. All right, here we are with issue 28, the final issue this episode. So here are the parts that come with it. We have a shoulder plate, which is plastic, unfortunately. It would be nice to see a little bit more metal, but it does cost more. We have our left shoulder cog. We've got our spring. We have like a nylon type sleeve or tube. What else do we have? Our right shoulder cap with rod here. And then we have just the right shoulder cap. And then we have our screws here. These are 3 by 6 millimeter. All right, so the first step we're going to do is take our shoulder mechanism here that we created previously, and we're going to insert this tube into there. So it should go in all the way and kind of bottom out on this side. So there we have it, just like that. All right, next we're going to take our shoulder plate right here, and we're going to insert it just into place, just like that. So we're going to have this long part facing down. We have this part from previous issue we glued into place here onto our left. This will be on our right, long side down. So next what we're going to do is take our parts here. Now Todd does say that this is a royal pain in the backside. We need our shoulder caps. So we'll take our first one here with the rod and put it on this side here, on the same side as this portion here. So we'll force this in through and in through that sleeve. If we have it lined up. Now I want to be careful because this is plastic. I don't want to break it. All right, after much struggling, I finally got this pin in all the way, and then we just need to we have 2 pins in here and 2 holes here. We will just put a little CA glue in here for our pins. And just insert this in there. There we go. So I must say, yes, this is a very hard part to get into place. Reading Todd's instructions, he did say some people found that using a little dish soap to lubricate the pin and slide it in made a huge difference. I wish I would have done that. I thought maybe I could power through it, but no. So when we come to do this on the other side, I will remember that tip, and I will definitely be trying that. So there we go. That's that part together. Now let's carry on. All right, next we're going to take our shoulder parts here, and we're going to take our cog, and we're going to, going by the diagram or the layout picture of the way Todd has it laid out, the largest opening here is to my right hand side. So we have our screw holes 1, 2, and 3 at the bottom. So 2 across, 1 at the bottom. And we're going to insert our cog in place. I want the holes for the screws that are raised, I want them to the left and to the right. And the slots should fit into the pins there, and there we go, just like that. So now if we flip this over, we should be able to see our 2 screw holes here. And then we're going to take our shoulder joint apart, and we're going to use the 2 screw holes into the screw hole receiving parts, and then the 2 pins go into those parts there. So just like that. And then we're going to take our 2 screws, and because it is going into metal, I will be using my 3-in-1 oil. Again, using my PH00 screwdriver. Just kind of cinch it into place. We'll come back and do a final tightening. There we go, tighten it down. There we go, tighten it down. There we have it. Just like that. So obviously I could still move, because that's the idea, as with the other joint with the, we get the spring in here, and do that. Alright, so that's it for issue 28 here. We have our parts ready for future episodes. I hope you join me again next time. So I'd like to say thanks for watching. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.